Welcome to Today I Learned a Programming Thing, a series where I show small programming tricks that I've learned that make a big difference. Today I learned bash functions do not return values. Actually, I've known that for a while, but that's the name of the series. One of the most valuable tools that any kind of a programmer can have is the command line. Now, a lot of programmers I talk to, they like to do everything through an IDE. They don't like to use the command line, but there's still a whole lot of programmers that like to use the command line, and I think there's a good reason for it. You can automate everything, almost, from the command line. It's one of the most useful tools you can have, but at the same time, some of the things can be a little bit tricky. So if you're using Windows, you'll be using PowerShell, which is a great scripting language, a great shell language for the record. But if you're in Linux, FreeBSD, or Mac, you're probably using Bash. There are alternatives to Bash, but you're probably using Bash. Bash has a few quirks. It's actually not really hard to use, but it is hard to learn because of these few little quirks. And one of those quirks is it doesn't return values. So that may make you think, so it's useless. So functions don't do anything. But actually, bash functions are very, very useful, and they don't actually need to return values. That's my dramatic look. That's not really dramatic, though. I've got my blank bash script here. I've got my terminal here. I've got my cat here. And let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and start with the basic bash script. So this is blank right now. So I can go ahead and say echo testing. I don't like to do hello world. I don't know why. So now I want to run this bash script. I could make it executable. I know a lot. I don't know why, but for some reason most people, whenever they write a Linux tutorial, they say make this file executable. I just want to run the bash command. It's fewer commands, less complicated. So I just do bash script.sh. Don't actually need the sh if I'm running the bash command. But now it's echoing testing. Okay, now let's do a function test func. Echo testing. So now this is not going to be returning any values, but it will be echoing a value. And now whenever I run the bash script, it shouldn't do anything. It didn't do anything. Good. So, go ahead and delete that extra line there. And I will go ahead and just call a function. Test it. Now, what if I want to put that value into something else? That's not as hard as it may seem. So I'm going to go ahead and define test var. FYI, don't put spaces between. This is something I do in other programming language, but I discovered the hard way. It doesn't really work so well in Bash. Don't put spaces before and after the equal sign. So if I do this, don't do 1, 2, 3 either. I mean, don't do plus either. I don't know what it's going to do. But it's not going to work right. So it just says test func 1, 2, 3. Doesn't give me the value. What I do instead is I put it inside of another string, and I can get rid of those two things right there too. Testing 1, 2, 3. We'll go ahead and add a space there too. Testing 1, 2, 3. That's all there is to it. Added bonus. What if I want to use an argument? So instead of saying echo testing, I want to echo some kind of an argument. You can use this to represent the first argument. You can use 2, 3, 4 to represent the second argument. So now I do test func some test. I could probably just do it like that. So now I'll say some test 1, 2, 3. Easy peasy. cat's licking my table. It's just the weirdest thing.